Okay, hey, in this video we're looking at adding and subtracting fractions and more specifically with different denominators. So we're going to apply equivalent fractions to calculate additions and subtractions. So first thing we might need to be successful, you should be able to recognize lowest common multiples, change fractions to equivalent forms, and then solve problems using addition and subtraction. So again, here comes the equivalent fractions. Please note that to find an equivalent fraction, you need to multiply or divide both the numerator and denominator in order for it to be equivalent. Lowest common multiple. So if we talk about numbers such as 3 and 6, so multiples of 3 are going to be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. And the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. Now if we have a look at both of those lines, we can see that they have common multiples. 6, 12, 18, and 24. If we kept going, it would be also 30. So what we can see here is that they are common multiples. Now we can use any of those numbers to help us if we had, say, a third and something in sixes, so an x, y, whatever, and to make them comparable. So we could use any of those numbers, but we like to try and stick with the lowest common multiple because small numbers means less work and easier to simplify at the end. So we can use this lowest common multiple of 6. So the LCM of 3 and 6 is 6. Okay, so when we add and subtract fractions, we need to remember that the parts must be the same size. So it'll be the same as me saying, well, I have a chocolate bar and it's 4 pieces, it's cut into quarters, and you have a chocolate bar, 1, 2, 3, and it's cut into, how do we, if you only ate 2 pieces and I ate 1, it's not going to be 1/4 plus 2/6, and it's not going to be 3/10, is it? So there's a way to do this mathematically. Now we need to make sure that our pieces are the same size. So in this one here, when we can see here, I ate a third of a pizza and you ate I ate 3/6 of a pizza and you ate 1/6. So what that means is that my 3 plus your 6 gives us a total of 4/6 of a pizza that was consumed. Now if we had say 9/11 of a pizza left over, and as a midnight snack I ate 3 out of those pieces and 3 out of those 9 pieces, I'm now left with 6 out of 11 pieces. Now you'll notice that I haven't touched the denominator because that's telling us what our whole is cut up into, and our numerator is telling us what is the quantity of what we are dealing with here. So that's why we do not touch these when dealing with addition and subtraction and fractions. Okay, so let's move into adding and subtracting fractions with different denominators. Now here is my fractions here. I'm going to do A first. Now I can see that I've got different denominators, so I'm going to start looking for lowest common multiples. Now I know that 6 is the lowest common multiple for both of these, and that's because it goes 2, 4, 6, and 6 is already here. So I need to think to myself, what do I need to do to 2 to get it to what do I need to multiply 2 by to give us the product of 6? So that's going to be 3, and whatever you do to the top, you must do to the do to the bottom, you must do to the top. That's because I'm creating an equivalent fraction here. I do not need to do anything with this 6 here, so that's going to be rewritten as 1 times 3, 3 over 6 plus 1/6. That then gives us 3, 1, 4, 6. Now this is where we make sure, can I simplify? 4 and 6 have highest common factors. I certainly can. divide by 2, divide by 2, and that's going to give us 2/3. The next one, again, looking for common multiples, so counting up in 6s, 6, 12, don't need to go any further. I've got my lowest common multiple. So what do I need to multiply 6 by to get it to 12? It's going to be 2. What I do to the bottom must do to the top. And then I rewrite my problem as with the equivalent fraction for 5, 6. So that's going to be 10 over 12 minus 1/12. 10 minus 1, so I'm going to leave my 12 there. 10 minus 1 is 9. And I can actually simplify that. It's going to be 3/4. Just in case you're wondering where I got that from. Oh, whoa, what did I do there? That's a bit cheeky. 3. Okay, now with this one here, it's a little bit different, and you're noticing, you might start to notice, well, yeah, you just need to get this, multiply this by 2, or do something to this number. But in this case here, 6 and 9 aren't, we know that they're linked because they're both multiples of 3, but we don't know when the lowest common multiple is. So we can go 6, 12, 18. This one here is 18 as well. Now we can, what do I multiply 6 by to get it to 18? It's going to be 3. What do I do to the bottom? My one here is going to be 2. To the bottom, must do to the top. Now you'll notice that this fraction is being multiplied by something different to this fraction. And most likely, most of the time, that would be the case. If you're multiplying both of those numbers by the same fraction, you'll end up with still having different denominators. Okay, so rewriting that, 3, 5 is 15, 18 plus, it's going to give me 18 because that's my lowest common multiple, and double that is 2. 15 plus 2 is 17 over 18. I cannot simplify because 17 is a prime number. 18 is not a factor of 17. Okay, so that is the answer there. Another thing you could do, if that is not your domain, as in like multiplication facts, is that we can actually take 5, 6, and what we can do is multiply these guys. So multiply this side by 9, multiply this side by 6, and then rewrite our equation. So 40 plus 6 over 54. And the answer is going to be 51 over 54. And I reckon if you divided this by probably 3, it's going to give us 17 over 18. I'm just going to use the calculator to do that. 51 divided by 54. Look at that. See? 17 over 18. So it gives us in our simplified version. So you can see here, both methods will get us to the answer. This one here is just using lowest common multiples because it's easier to factorize. And this one here, you might have to simplify afterwards. What I'd like you to do is have a go of a couple of questions here. Thanks guys, bye.